Welcome back to Treasure and Change, where every coin is a piece of history and sometimes even a piece of treasure. Today, we're going to be coin roll hunting nickels. We have a box of bank wrapped rolls. We also have some customer wrapped rolls here that we're going to be getting into. We're going to be looking for rare varieties and errors, key dates, semi-key dates, silver war nickels, and more. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We're small but growing, and we're hoping to get to 100 subscribers here in the near future. With that being said, we're going to pull you in as soon as we make a find. We're going to do a little bit of show and tell, and hopefully there will be some history that we can discuss. Let's go. Okay, apologies for not bringing you in sooner. We're doing bedtime with our 3-year-old and our 6-year-old, and it got a little crazy. I was able to open up rolls, but there was just too many sounds of joy going on in the background, and we almost had to call our insurance company to see if we got flood coverage for our bathroom because it was getting a little out of hand. But we made it. Kids are asleep, and we're back. So we did have a lot of international finds. I live in a very international city, so this is not uncommon when we're searching customer wrapped rolls here. We have Canadians, we have Panama, Cuba, Paraguay, and Venezuela. So those are our international finds, that were the foreign finds that we've had thus far. We'll keep those in a stack right here. We also had 30s, 40s, and 50s, and we stacked these. These are all the common dates, but we do have quite a treat for you. This here is a 1939 San Francisco mint mark here. Now, it's slick, it's not in the best condition, but this is a semi-key date. This is 6.6 million minted. So let me show you that here in our red book. There it is. So even in this condition, it's great find, something that we don't come across too often. We also had a 1957 Philadelphia. That one has like 38 million if I remember correctly. Now this is a treat we don't find very often. This is a very cull-like, ungradable really. It's 18 and then probably 1880 something is my guess. It's really hard to tell here. I don't nick a date, so I don't think I'll ever be able to get an actual date off of this thing. Let me know if you ended up seeing one or something, but this is a V-nickel. We don't find a lot of these, and when we do, they're usually in this type of condition, but it's a great find, something we don't see too often. Now this one, when I first saw it from here, was about where I saw it. I thought that it was just a standard nickel that was dropped in gasoline, so it had a little bit of a shine, but the shine was from gas, was my initial thought. And then I flipped it over and it was just too lustrous, and the Monticello was too like frosted for me to not think, okay, this looks like a proof. I flipped it over, I gave a good look at the mint mark, and let's see if I can get that in there for you. There you go. So there's the San Francisco mint mark there. So this is a proof. Very cool. Don't find too many proofs. So got a couple rarities there. The rest are just odds and ends and little tidbits that I keep but aren't necessarily of value. I'll keep going finish up these customer wrapped rolls, and we'll get into the bank wrapped rolls. Okay, we've gotten a lot of really cool finds thus far, but my favorite type of finds are ones that let me cross off a line in my red book. So there we go. Got one that I hadn't had before. Okay, let's get into this bank box and see what we can find. Let's go. Okay, future me here made a series of errors. So I forgot to plug in, my microphone was plugged in, but it wasn't really working correctly. It had a blue light instead of a green light, so it wasn't capturing any audio. So I'm going to be giving you some voiceovers here, starting with this one. Basically, my next error here was that I'm explaining that I seem to have run into a collection dump and I couldn't help myself. I was opening up rolls without you all. I'm not used to filming yet, and I just got really excited about all these V nickels and buffalo nickels I was finding, and it's easier for me to, you know, open them up a little bit throughout the day, as opposed to I can only really get free time once my kids go to sleep, which is like, you know, 9 o'clock or later. And I just couldn't wait. It had been a day already, and I just started open up rolls on my lunch break, and you know, whenever I could get a second. So I actually did a box and a quarter without you all. So I kind of turned this 2 box hunt into a 3 box hunt, and I was just like rolling in V nickels and buffaloes. And I finally said, this group that you see here of bank wrapped rolls, I said, I can't open these up. I need to show this live. Nobody's gonna believe me unless I open some of these up live, so people can see that they were just filled with buffaloes and V nickels. So that's basically what I was explaining here. I found a really great date on one of these buffalo nickels that is very key date. So I'm going to explain that here in a second as well. I have my red book here, and this was a 1930S. So the mintage of that is 5.4 million. And there will be a wrap up at the end that I do have audio, and I can very articulately let you know everything I found. This is by far the best hunt I've had on the channel, being that it's a 3 box hunt too, and being that there's probably a collection dump. Just makes this hunt unique. These are like the once in a lifetimes that you always remember, right? Typically, I'll find 2 great keepers per box of 100 nickels. So like I'll find some combination of like a war nickel, a buffalo nickel, and a proof, let's say, or like an air coin, right? And it'll be 2 of any of those, right? Just pick, and it's different per box. But this was very unique. And I'm going to start fast forwarding here for the ones that I'm opening that we don't find anything, but I'll go back to real time and show you the finds that we have, because we are going to find some more stuff here. So to be continued. Let's fast forward. Okay, here we go. We have another find. This is a 1955 Philadelphia. This has a mintage of 7.8 million, so pretty semi-key date there. Okay, folks, here we go again. Another V-nickel. This one is in worse condition than the others, I would say. It's dateless, which the other ones all had dates, but it's another V-nickel. Just goes to show we're getting lucky. Okay, we're shuffling through these coins pretty quickly. Time is always of the essence for me, but we did find this 1923. It does not have a mint mark. It's going to be a Philadelphia. So it's 35 million minted. Not necessarily a key date, but a great find. We're going to keep it. Here you can see me realizing the microphone mishap, so I went ahead and unplugged it. There you see that piece fall across the table. So from now on, we have live volume. Put in the positive energy. Here we go. There's one. Buffalo. 1936. Philadelphia. Add that to the pile. Okay. Push this out of the way. This looks proof. Yep. Proof. What a great hunt, you guys. I have not even in my life just seen this much back to back to back to back. That's a proof. Count it. Penny. Really? Not even copper. Okay, I want to do something that not a lot of coin roll hunters do here. I'm going to show you underneath the table. This is the mess that I've made. These are all the nickels that I need to get ready to send back to the banks. Wish me luck. Wow, y'all, this search was wild. We basically turned a 2-box hunt into a 3-box hunt, where I did a box and maybe a quarter without y'all, just because I have no patience and I'm sorry I couldn't wait. We ended up with a pile of 30s, 40s, and 50s nickels that I need to look through for varieties and to see if I missed any key dates. We did come away with, as far as key dates go, this 1930S Buffalo. The mint mark here is a little smushed, but you can clearly see that it is an S instead of a D there. So that is the Buffalo that we have. And then this one is a Jefferson. This is a 1939S, only 6.6 million were minted. This also has the S mint mark. It's right here. For the most part, if it has an S, it's going to be rare, with the exception of 1968, 69, and 70 had S mint marks, but they're not rare at all. This is a 1955 Philadelphia. 7.8 million were minted, so that's basically the end of those kind of key dates that we found, which are awesome in and of themselves. Then we have a stack here, a whole row of foreigns, Canadian, Panamanian, and others. This is, to me, just the shock, and I'm going to flip up all except these two. We couldn't pull dates off of. They're from the 1800s, which I think is cool, but the dates were too worn to actually tell what date they were. But we found 4 with dates, and they're all kind of the more common years, and I already have them. They didn't fill any holes necessarily for me in my red book, but just the fact that I found them at all is shocking. I haven't gotten V-nickels in a very long time. I feel like this is a collection dump. I have 2 more boxes sitting at my feet, and I'll probably do a back-to-back nickel hunt videos because I want to get into those and see if there are any more in those boxes. I forget what banks I picked these up from. So if somebody's dumping a whole bunch of V-nickels, man, I want them all. But anyway, we have some Buffaloes here. There's only, I think they all have dates. I think this was the one that I didn't think had a date, but it does. You can see here it's going to end up being 1928. And I know it's rough and hard to see, but that's clearly 1928. So super excited about that, including the Buffalo up here. I mean, this is a whole bunch of Buffaloes. I named a video of Buffalo herd, and I only had 4. That was granted in a lot less boxes, but still. These were very interesting too. These are proofs. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I looked under the scope and I think this one has doubling, which I went looking and I didn't see any doubling documented on the 2000S. So if it does have doubling, and I'm going to check, I primarily see it in the O here. If I do, I'll make a short or something to that effect. I might actually make a full video if this has doubling, where I submit it to Konica for variety attribution, which is a whole nother thing that you can do that's really cool and fun. You basically submit error coins off to Konica. There's a $15 fee and there's an address you ship it to. They write up their thoughts on it, and then you can send that paper that they provide to you with the variety attribution, if it is attributed, to Annex, and they'll actually go ahead and put that in a holder for you with the variety attribution that came from Konica. So very cool. If it does have doubling, I'm going to do that. I'll make a whole video on that. If it does, in fact, I have to look at it under a scope. So that was the hunt. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you were entertained. Come back for more, and please like, comment, share, subscribe. Have a great rest of the day.